Thank you. Let me open it up. Video unavailable, it's private. Just change it to unlisted. Okay. The quality?
Okay, hello everyone. We will finally start the House of Delegates. Thank you so much for making time to be here. I know it's a very nervous. With that, I call to order this House of Delegates at 2:10 p.m. With that, we'll begin with the flag salute. Matthew Kim, can you share a screen? Okay, hello everyone. We will finally start the House of Delegates. Thank you so much for making time. Can I please have everyone unmute themselves? Please unmute if you all can. Put your hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
Yeah, I can hear Kat.
Oh, I thought you. Okay, never mind. It's good. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, it freezes when you switch to another tab. So you have to leave it open.
To opening thoughts by Brandon Dumapisock, our district treasurer.
Thank you, Kat. Roughly 1 year ago today, our district was faced with an unprecedented challenge to serve, to lead, and to build connections with one another in a completely virtual world. Through the perseverance, innovation, and passion of our district, our members,
to opening thoughts by Brandon Dumapisock, our district treasurer.
Thank you, Kat. Roughly 1 year ago today, our district was faced with an unprecedented challenge to serve, to lead, and to build connections with one another in a completely virtual world. Through the perseverance, innovation, and passion of our district, our
Neil back into the room.
Wait, talk? Yeah, I hear Kat.
Neil, you have the floor.
I don't know. I don't think I hear me either. Yeah, I hear Kat.
Neil, you have the floor.
I don't know. I don't think I hear me either.
Thank you, Governor Cat. Governor Cat. Thank you, Governor Cat. And my apologies, but I guess I'm the guinea pig for Kiwanians who can't manage the technology. So this meeting is governed by the rules of parliamentary procedure. Governor Cat, show of hands, how many of you have engaged in a meeting in with parliamentary procedure before? All right, that's good. So we're counting on those of you who've done parliamentary procedure before to help those who aren't as familiar with parliamentary procedure when it's time for me. Apologies, but I guess I'm the first rule of parliamentary procedure is that an item has to be on the agenda. So the agenda will be shared with you, and if it's not on the agenda, then one of the first things you would have to do would be to move something to add it to the agenda. So the second issue is, in order to engage in an orderly round of discussion, there has to be a recognition by the chair, which is a fancy way of saying Kat needs to call on you. So you need to propose a course of action by making a motion or making a nomination. So when you make a motion, it's important to keep in mind that in parliamentary procedure, motion is a noun and move is a verb. So I don't say I motion, I say I move. And you define a proposed course of action, and most motions require a second. The only motion that doesn't require a second is called a division, and that is to challenge the chair's declaration of the outcome of a vote. Secondly, there's a procedure for debate. The maker of the motion speaks to the motion first, and then debate proceeds in alternating pro and con. If you want to change the motion, you make a motion to amend or you move to amend, all right? And that not necessarily requires a second as well. When the debate occurs, then the debate occurs only on the proposed amendment. Once that's resolved, then it goes back to the motion as amended or the motion as originally stated. If you are not sure what is going on, this is supposed to be a learning experience for you. So it is not very helpful if you don't know what's going on for you to go and vote, because that doesn't make sense. So one of the things you can do is raise a point of information. And a point of information is to ask a question if you're not sure what we're doing. If you are challenging the course of action, such as whether we're on the agenda, then you raise a point of order. If the debate has gone on long enough for you, you can end debate with a 2/3 vote. In that case, you make a motion, and the motion is to call the question. And it needs a second and then a 2/3 vote because it's cutting off debate. So that's the basic rules. Most of the House of Delegates here will involve a nomination. A nomination does not require a second. And so that will be the course of events.
Okay. Thank you, Camille. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. If not, we'll be moving forward. So any questions? Awesome. Okay. Moving forward to our adoption of standing rules of the House of Delegates. That will be presented by Ryan Tan.
Hello. So we sent out a review of the standing rules of the House of Delegates along with your delegate booklet. So I'll just be reading that document right now. So some of the standing rules of this House of Delegates is the House of Delegates will remain open unless closed by a majority of those delegates present. However, no one will be allowed to enter or exit the House of Delegates during voting, which means for the time the chair announces that voting will proceed through a time period in which all ballots are collected for that vote. The House of Delegates, once closed, may be reopened by a majority vote of those delegates present. The only persons who will be admitted to the House of Delegates are certified delegates, certified delegates at large, the district administrator, the parliamentarian, designated sergeants at arms, members of the Election and Credentials Committee under the supervision of the Elections and Credentials Chair, and those given leave by the chair and escorted by a sergeant at arms. No delegate may leave the House without providing his or her ballot to the Election and Credentials Committee. The third one is, to be admitted to the House of Delegates, a delegate or delegate at large must be properly certified as a delegate by the Election and Credentials Committee. No one will be admitted as a delegate without an official delegate. No delegate will be admitted without their official delegate certification. A speaker addressing the House of Delegates must first be recognized by the chair. Upon being recognized, the chair will give his or her or their name and college or university. For example, if Kat calls on you, the first thing you should say is Brian Tan, Cal State Fullerton. And then after concluding their presentation, the speaker will provide the district secretary with spelling of their name so that it can be accurately reflected in the minutes. Elections, which is the fifth one, any delegate may nominate a candidate when the governor declares nominations for the office to be open. No delegate may nominate more than one candidate for a single office, and nominating speeches will be limited to 1 minute. Once nominated, the chair will verbally verify that the candidate accepts the nomination. In order for a nomination to be valid, the candidate must submit an application, an agreement of service, and official transcripts verifying current enrollment to the district administrator. In the absence of official transcripts, a candidate's election is contingent upon submission of the official transcripts verifying current enrollment within 2 weeks. Failure to do so will cause a candidate to be deemed unqualified. When a candidate is running unopposed, a delegate, which are any of y'all, are authorized to vote on the candidate. Candidacy may make a motion for the candidate to be elected by unanimous acclamation. For the motion to pass unanimously, the candidate will be deemed elected unanimously. In the event the vote is not unanimous on that motion, the election will be conducted by ballot. And a candidate must obtain a majority of votes for certified delegates who are eligible to vote in that election. The absence of delegates from the House of Delegates will not reduce the number of votes required to make a majority. And all candidates will be allowed to speak to the House of Delegates. Candidates for district governor will be allowed to speak to the House of Delegates. Candidates for district governor will receive 2 minutes, and other candidates will receive 1 minute. The sixth rule is debate in the House of Delegates will take place as follows. The maker of a motion will be recognized first. Speakers will then be recognized alternating between pro and con. No person may speak in the House of Delegates for longer than 2 minutes at any one time unless permitted to do so by a majority of the vote of the delegates. A delegate may not speak for or against a motion and move to close debate on the same recognition. No person will be recognized to speak a second time on the same question if there is anyone else desiring to speak on that question. And debate on any proposal, resolution, or amendment to the district bylaws will be limited to 20 minutes. A motion to move the previous question will not be in order until 10 minutes of debate has taken place or all microphones are clear, whichever occurs first. The seventh one is all reports, resolutions, and amendments to be introduced to the House of Delegates must be in writing, and a copy must be sent to the district secretary at the time of submission. The eighth one is the most current version of Robert's Rules of Order will serve as a parliamentary authority for the House of Delegates on all matters not specifically covered by the bylaws of Circle K International, the bylaws of this district, or these standing rules. And finally, these rules will be adopted by 2/3 vote of the House of Delegates. Once adopted, these rules may be suspended or changed by 2/3 vote of these delegates. So by adopting this, we are upholding and also agreeing that these will be our standing rules for this House of Delegates.
I would like to entertain the motion to adopt the standing rules for the House of Delegates. Is there a motion and is there a second? Brandon from Sac State.
So moved.
Is there a second? Doug?
Douglas Music, Cal State Fullerton. I second.
Okay. And then explain that it requires a 2/3 vote.
Okay. So the motion is to adopt the standing rules of the House of Delegates, and it requires a 2/3 vote.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, please use the raise please use the raise hand feature.
So declare, ask for opposed.
Okay, you guys may lower your hands.
Actually, you should lower all the hands.
Please lower all hands. Okay, those opposed, please raise your hand. You guys may lower. Seeing none, the motion passed.
Now you need a credentials report.
Okay, so next we'll be moving on to the adoption of today's agenda. I would like to entertain a motion to adopt today's agenda. Is there a motion on the floor? Doug?
Douglas Music, Cal State Fullerton. So moved.
Thank you.
Ask for a second.
Nicholas Wright?
Nicholas Wright, Cal Poly Slow. I second.
Motion made by Doug, seconded by Nicholas Wright.
The motion is to adopt the agenda.
The motion is to adopt the agenda for today,
That requires a majority vote.
and which requires a majority vote. Those in favor, please raise your hand.
It's more than 33.
You guys may lower your hands. Those opposing, please raise your hand. Seeing none, the adoption of today's agenda has been moved. Or passed, sorry. Okay, moving on to the reports of credentials of the Credentials Committee on the certification of delegates, presented by our Elections Chair, Eddie Castillo.
I'd like to ask the district governor to obtain.
Read the credentials report first.
Oh.
Then ask for the-
Okay. So for the district of CNH, for the credentials report, total amount of delegates is 64. Total clubs represented is 27. Clubs with 2 delegates is 25. Clubs with 1 delegate is 2. Delegates at large is 12. A majority vote consists of 33 delegates. Supermajority vote, 2/3, is 43 delegates. And a unanimous vote is 64 delegates. For the Capital Division, the total amount of delegates is 8. Total clubs represented is 3. Total clubs with 2 delegates is 3. Clubs with 1 delegate is 0. Delegates at large is 2. A majority vote is 5. A supermajority vote is 6. And unanimous vote is 8. For the Central Coast Division, the total amount of delegates is 6. Total clubs represented is 3. Clubs with 2 delegates is 2. Clubs with 1 delegate is 1. Delegates at large is 1. A majority vote consists of 4 delegates. A supermajority vote consists of 5 delegates. And a unanimous vote is 6 delegates. For the Citrus Division, the total amount of delegates is 12. Total clubs represented is 5. Total clubs with 2 delegates is 4. Total clubs with 1 delegate is 1. Delegates at large is 3. A majority vote consists of 7 delegates. A supermajority vote consists of 8 delegates, and a unanimous vote is 12 delegates. For Desert Oasis, the total amount of delegates is 5. The total clubs represented is 2. Clubs with 2 delegates is 2. Clubs with 1 delegate is 0. Delegates at large is 1. A majority vote consists of 3 delegates. A supermajority vote consists of 4 delegates, and a unanimous vote is 5 delegates. For the Foothill Division, the total amount of delegates is 7. Total clubs represented is 3. Clubs with 2 delegates is 3. Clubs with 1 delegate is 0. Delegates at large is 1. A majority vote consists of 4 delegates. A supermajority vote consists of 5 delegates, and a unanimous vote is 7 delegates. For the division of Golden Gate, the total amount of delegates is 3. Total clubs represented is 1. Clubs with 2 delegates is 1. Clubs with 1 delegate is 0. Delegates at large is 1. A majority vote is 2. A supermajority vote is 2. And a unanimous vote is 3. For the division of Metro, the total amount of delegates is 13. Total clubs represented is 6. Clubs with 2 delegates is 6. Clubs with 1 delegate is 0. Delegate at large is 1. A majority vote consists of 7. A supermajority vote consists of 9. And a unanimous vote is 13. For the division of Paradise, the total amount of delegates is 5. The total clubs represented is 2. Clubs with 2 delegates is 2. Clubs with 1 delegate is 0. Delegates at large is 1. A majority vote consists of 3 delegates. A supermajority vote consists of 4 delegates, and a unanimous vote is 5 delegates. For the Sunset Division, the total amount of delegates is 5. Total clubs represented is 2. Clubs with 2 delegates is 2. Clubs with 1 delegate is 0. Delegates at large is 1. A majority vote consists of 3 delegates. A supermajority vote consists of 4 delegates, and a unanimous vote is 5 delegates. I'd like to ask the district governor to entertain the motion to adopt the credentials report as presented.
I would like to entertain a motion to adopt the report of the Credential Committees of Certification of Delegates as reported. Is there a motion on the table? On the floor. Emily?
Emily Real, Pasadena City College, so moved.
Thank you. Brandon from SAC?
Brandon Capilong, Sac State. I second.
Thank you. With that, those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. I will now lower all hands. Those opposing, please raise your hand. Seeing none, the motion passes. Okay, yay. Now let's begin with our governor's election. Right. So before we get started, we will open up the floor for nominations for each of the candidates. Each candidates cannot proceed without a proper nomination from one delegate and seconded by another delegate.
Doesn't need a second.
Oh, never mind. It does not need a second. So are there any nominations on the floor? Chio from SAC.
Chio Siang, Sacramento State. I nominate Joey Duong for the position of district governor.
Okay, thank you,
I
Chio.
guess you could.
We will now invite Joey into the House of Delegates to either accept or reject her nomination. Hello, Joey. Do you accept the nomination of district governor or district governor?
I, Joey Duong, accept.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other nominations for district governor?
Hello. I, Alexander Caceros, delegate from El Camino College, nominate Matthew Uyama for district governor.
Okay, please speak when the chair calls. Sorry, my laptop is currently processing, but yes, Alex. Can we please have Matthew Ujimov? Is he in here? Matthew, do you accept the nomination?
I do accept the nomination.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Are there any further nominations? Brittany Chow.
Brittany Chow, Cal State Fullerton. I nominate Ryan Tan for the position of CNH District Governor.
Ryan Tan. Do you accept the nomination for district governor?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Okay, are there any further nominations? Okay, seeing none, the nominations are closed. We will begin with elections.
So
sorry.
each candidate now gives their
So we'll now begin with our 2-minute speeches from our current candidates, starting with the order that they were nominated. We'll begin with Joey, then Matthew Ujimov, and then Ryan Tan. Brandon Dimapasak, our district treasurer, will be timing your 2 minutes, so please have your chats open. We will start with Joey Duong.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to mute. Good afternoon, CNH. I know I may not have been the best speaker and had shaky audio. However, those are all things that can be worked on. I'm a huge believer that actions speak louder than words. I'm a person who is not afraid of commitment. I have shown my dedication and capabilities through my experiences. If elected, I promise to uphold my duties to the best of my abilities. I promise to provide nothing but time, care, and love for this district as we truly enter a new era in time. I'd like to thank you all for being here today. No matter elected or not, please don't hesitate to ever reach out to me through my contact info. Lastly, I hope you all keep minding yours and those around you's mental health. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey. We'll be moving on to Matthew Ujimov.
Am I good to speak?
Yes, you may.
All right. Thank you so much, CNH, for this opportunity to run for district governor. I know the ideas that I presented this weekend are big. The expectations will be high, and I am ready. We can change the trajectory that we have faced the last 4 years. We can revitalize our district and divisions. Our CNH House's foundation has weakened, and this year, we can rebuild that foundation for us to be able to prosper. I want representation in CNH from every club, every voice. I will listen to you throughout the term. I want to get your feedback in decisions that we make. Together, we can do this. Together, we can rebuild CNH, and together we can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. We'll be moving on to Ryan.
Let me say it at least once in one of my speeches. Wow, wow, wow. I'd like to say thank you all for giving me and all the candidates your time and actively listening to our platforms for the past 2 days. If elected as district governor, I'd like to 1, support our presidents, lieutenant governors, and clubs by providing them the proper resources and guidance. 2, communication and accountability on the district board. And 3, making CNH Circle K more safe and accessible for our membership. I'm ready for a tantalizing year next term. And for the last time, my name is Ryan Tan, pronouns he, him, his, and I'm running to be your 2021 to 2022 district governor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan. Now we'll be proceeding to vote. I will have Eddie present more information about how the ballot functions.
Thank you. For the position of district governor, for the position of district governor, we will be posting a Google form in the general chat to everyone. Only registered delegates will be allowed to vote. Everyone should have a valid email that they registered on the delegates sheet itself, as well as a unique PIN for you specifically as a delegate. That should have been in the first email that was sent out to you. Ballots that do not have a valid email address or a PIN number will not be counted for, so make sure that that is accurate. You will have 5 minutes to vote, and that's it. Yeah, so that'll be it. So if I have to go ahead, I will post it in the chat. So I will go ahead and post it in the chat. Make sure it's the right one.
Oh, you didn't give the instructions about the no confidence vote. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah. Wait, you do it in my
Thank you, Governor Cat, for calling upon me to explain Kiwanis International Policy. Kiwanis International Policy provides that no confidence voting is not available. So you must cast your ballot. If you do not cast your ballot, it will count as no vote. If you submit a blank ballot, it will end up counting not in favor of anybody. There's not a no confidence option, but you may submit a blank ballot for in any of the elections.
Thank you.
I will be posting the link in the chat right now. So you have 5 minutes to vote. Please do so efficiently. Thank you.
We have 1 minute left. So the time has officially expired. We will be processing all the ballots. During the meantime, we will be giving our governor's report. So just give me a moment as I pull it up. Okay, hi guys. My name is Catherine, but all my friends call me Kat, and I proudly serve as your current district governor. The last year has been like no other. After a year of unprecedented challenges, we reflect on all of our accomplishments and what this pandemic has taught us about us, society, and the path ahead. As CNH leaders, we are all being called to serve and to lead, to use your voices and your platforms to amplify the voices of the muted and to speak out against all forms of oppression. This past term, our members were asked by the community to serve by signing petitions, donating, educating ourselves, having meaningful conversations, or even protesting against injustices that we see in our communities today, and will continue to see if we do not take action. We are the leaders of tomorrow, and what we do now will impact the future. From BLM to SA to mental health, advocacy and expansion on those dialogues and resources has been created throughout our clubs and our district level this year. Granted that we still have a long way to go, we're taking steps towards the right direction. In addition, we are able to successfully transition all of our in-person events online, from this crazy election to all of our club meetings, DCMs, crazy comps, fall training conference, workshops, district convention, and of course, our spring training conference. Noted for this year, we had the highest attendance from Hawaii clubs for FTC in the past 5 years. We went to uncharted territories with our new podcast, the Sunnycast, to amplify our members' voices. And after 3 long years, we've revived the District Professional Development Conference to introduce professional development throughout CNH. And of course, we introduced our first satellite clubs. New resources were also introduced, such as our club health library, our website redrafts, and our district conclave research project. Leaders who have endured adversity are most likely to be the ones with the most resilience and to resolve to success. I want to thank you all, the presidents, the club leaders, and of course, district board, for being my inspiration throughout all these adversities and for making this journey so memorable. It has been truly an honor to serve you as governor. And as always, stay sunny. Just take a moment as we're still currently counting our ballots. Thank you so much for your patience. During this time, you guys may get some water, some tissues, I guess. And yeah, make sure to take care of yourself during this long caucus session. I mean, House of Delegates session. Oh my gosh, were you guys watching me cry? I'm so sorry. This is so embarrassing. Oh my god, okay. But yeah, okay, sorry. Since we have time, I just really want to say, like, to all the presidents, I know this year has been tremendously hard on you guys, and honestly watching you guys go through so much really breaks my heart. If I could honestly give you guys like a huge bear hug right now, I could. You guys truly deserve the world. And this also applies to D-Board, but I'm going to save D-Boards for later because you already know the governor's speech is going to be freaking long. And for those who are watching the live stream right now, I'm so sorry. I am not the most photogenic person right now, so I apologize. Anyway, back to professionalism.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a valid election. Sorry, can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay, we have a valid election. Can I have a drum roll, please? I could hear it from here, I promise. So our next district governor for the 2021 to 2022 is Ryan Tan from PCC and Cal State Fullerton.
Say anything.
Okay, since Ryan is the governor, you may have the floor to have any announcements or if you want to say anything to the district.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you all so much for entrusting me with such a huge responsibility. I promise not to let y'all down, and I really look forward to next term. And if you have any questions or like need any support from me, I always got your back. So yeah, I really look forward to serving you all for one more time. Yeah.
Now, open the nomination.
Okay.
Congratulations, Ryan, and open the nominations for district secretary.
Okay, so congratulations, assessor. I'm so excited for you. I would give you a huge bear hug, but I can't. Anyway, so we'll be moving on to the position of district secretary. Since the position is vacant, I will now open the floor for nominations. Brandon from Sac State.
Brandon Capulong, Sacramento State. I, Brandon Capulong, nominate Vanessa Lee for the position of district secretary.
Thank you, Brandon.
Is Vanessa in the house?
Is Vanessa in the house? Give me a moment. We will now be inviting Vanessa Lee to either accept or reject her nomination. Vanessa Lee, are you in the room?
Yes, I'm in the room.
Hello, Vanessa. Do you oh, sorry. Vanessa, do you accept the nomination for the position of district secretary?
Yes, I accept the nomination for the position of district secretary.
Awesome. Yay. Okay, moving forward with our other nominations. Can I have Christine from OCC?
Yes, I, Christine Tran from Orange Coast College, nominate Ann Lee for the position of the district secretary.
Okay, Ann Lee, are you in the room? Ann? Ann Lee?
She just got in right now.
Okay. Ann Lee, are you in the room?
Yes, I am.
Do you accept your nomination for the position of district secretary?
Yes, I accept my nomination.
Okay, thank you. Can I have Zamil from ECC?
Samuel Valenciano, delegate for ECC, nominate Matthew Ujimov to the position of district secretary.
Matthew Ujimov, do you accept your nomination for the position of district secretary?
I do accept the nomination.
Thank you, Matthew. Brittany from Cal State Fullerton.
Brittany Chow, Cal State Fullerton. I nominate Douglas Shimizu for the position of district secretary.
Douglas Shimizu, are you in the room?
Yes.
Douglas, do you accept your nomination for the position of district secretary?
I, Douglas Shimizu, humbly accept the nomination for district secretary.
Okay. Sorry, give me a moment. Are there any further nominations?
Okay, I need to ask a second.
Okay, with that being said, we close the floor for nomination and we will proceed with caucusing. Give me a minute to discuss with Camille on how we'll be moving forward. During this time, for those who are planning to be caucus, please prepare yourselves for a 7-minute speech / caucus session.
Yeah, you approved first.
Okay, so since we are doing a caucus session, we have to call this current session to a recess just for caucuses, for the caucus alone. Therefore, I entertain a motion to call recess for caucusing. Is there a motion on the floor? Nicholas Wright,
Nicholas Wright, Cal Poly Slow, so moved.
Brandon from Sac State.
Brandon Capulong, Sac State. I second.
Motion created by Nick, seconded by Brandon. We'll be moving on to a vote. Those in favor, please use the raise hand feature. This does require a 2/3 vote.
I think everyone.
Okay, awesome. The motion, or sorry, you guys may lower your hands. Okay, those opposed, please raise your hand.
a half an hour.
Okay. Seeing none, the motion passes. Okay, thank you, y'all. So we'll be moving on to our caucus session for the position of district secretary. We will be moving forward in the order of Vanessa, Anne, Matthew Ujimov, and Douglas Shimizu as the order that they were nominated in.
Right, so that means that Vanessa and
Okay, so before Vanessa can start her 7-minute caucus, I will have to move all of the other 3 candidates into a breakout room. So just hang on tight. I just want to remind everyone that this procedure is exactly the same as the caucus session from yesterday and today. So what would happen is each candidate will have 7 minutes total to speak. And the 7 minutes could be divided either during their speech or onto their Q&A/caucus section. Brandon, our district treasurer, will be the timekeeper for this session. You guys will all have a 5-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute, 30 seconds, and then a 10-second notification. With that, I wish you guys the best of luck, and I will be sending out the breakup rooms for all of the other candidates.
Sam, you may want to.
Thank you so much for your patience, y'all. Vanessa, are you still in the room?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I will be spotlighting you for everyone to see. Okay. So, hello, Vanessa. Just a reminder that you have 7 minutes total to speak. We'll let you know in the chat or through vocal that by our district treasurer, Brandon Dimapasach, that you have 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 30 seconds, and a 10-second left reminder. After you are done speaking, please say "I yield." Your time will begin whenever you or your campaign team begins to speak. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Vanessa. And whenever you're ready, okay?
Hello, everyone. I'm Vanessa Lee. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm currently a 3rd year studying computer science at Sacramento State. My experience includes serving on the home club as a past Kiwanis family relations chair and as their club secretary this term. I also served on the district level through member recognition committee. The main goals, if I were to be elected as district secretary, would be the following. First, on the topic of club secretaries, I wanted
give them my utmost support and maintain communication with them. And in order to do so, I'll provide consistent and constructive feedback on their monthly report forms throughout the term, and as well as give them a confirmation reply to say that I have received them. Next, I'll email them bi-weekly, detailing any current district updates, as well as provide helpful resources to them. And following that, I will host monthly office hours along with seasonal one-on-ones to answer any concerns or inquiries they might have when working on either just data collecting or just their MRFs in general. And to expand on that, I will be creating a Discord server to have all secretaries to join within it, just because I have noticed in the past that secretaries have not collaborated or communicated with each other thoroughly. And I did mention resources, and those resources will include an all-in-one doc with secretary contacts throughout the district, just because, as you guys may or may not know, interclubbing has grown tremendously throughout this term, and keeping track of all attendance had been a slight struggle for some secretaries. And being able to have everyone's contact and sending information about hours will make things easier for the upcoming secretaries. Next, I will revamp and update serves and MRFs with corrections to the formulas. So I have noticed when working as a club secretary this term, there has been some issues, and I want to correct that. Along with that, for the serve, I want to make it more accessible for each club secretary by reforming and updating the overall layout. And next, I'll personally outreach and offer assistance beyond positional duties to ensure the wellness of these club secretaries. Moving on to specific district secretary duties, I will try my best to consistently provide district service and fundraising totals to be transparent on how we're achieving our goals. Next, I'll relay and reflect as a to the district board by reviewing MRFs we receive from each club throughout the district to further improve pitfalls and maintain accountability. Along with that, I'll publish concise infographics detailing district board meetings and what has been discussed, along with contacting CNM about the sunspot and releasing those infographics along with that. In regards to law and regulation, I want to create and promote resources to educate clubs on more of the bylaws and election process, and assist growing clubs on establishing a strong framework, and just outline a simple and in layman terms outline a standard set of governing documents. I pivot.
Sorry, Olivia.
Olivia Chang, Cal State Long Beach. So as district secretary, you're also like the right-hand man to the district governor, and you'll be expected to take minutes during district board meetings. So how do you plan to provide your input to the board and have a strong presence as an executive board member?
Thank you for the question, Olivia. And I'll provide my strong presence by I'm not really afraid to speak my mind on topics. I'll like provide my input whenever I can, especially if deemed necessary. So I'll try my best to be very vocal on topics.
Emily?
Emily Real, Pasadena City College. So L&R took on a more research-heavy role this term. I was wondering what kind of research you were, or if you are still thinking of bringing it down that path, or if you're trying to take L&R in a more traditional direction.
For Laws and Regulation Committee, I haven't really thought about any research topics for specifics, but if I were to, then I want to look into the stats of how people's like welcome weeks and how they're actually engaging and how people are actually attending like I guess, advertising their clubs and seeing how the growth of increase of membership or even decrease and how that's affected by their opening weekly events throughout the semesters and compare those stats.
Audrey?
Audrey Abbott, PCC. You mentioned that you wanted to revamp SERFs in a way, and like you found some errors in this past SERF. So what types of things would you want to make those changes?
So I mentioned layout. So I noticed throughout like the main event, like I guess the attendance side, it would be nice. I feel like if we added an extra section for just service planning to list out, just because I know sometimes it could be confusing to calculate the differences between service planning and also regular services when in case of meetings, and also just provide a different section for to put down the names of attendees from other schools, just so it could also act as an attendance sheet if other club secretaries do not want to make a separate attendance sheet, they could just give each other the SERF.
Olivia?
Olivia Chang, Cal State Long Beach. I noticed that there's a lot of secretary resources that could be released out to CNH. So how do you plan on communicating these resources to the district?
First,
that's time.
Thank you, Vanessa. We'll be moving you back, or can you please move back into the breakout room? Do you have the option?
Do I just press leave?
Yeah, click the breakout room session and you can move back into it. If not, I can manually do it for you.
Yeah, it's not giving me that option.
Just give it a moment. But thank you, Vanessa. Our next candidate will be Ann Lee from Orange Coast College. Anne will be entering the main session as at the moment. Anne, are you in the room?
Yes,
Anne?
I am. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, hi Anne. Just a reminder that you have 7 minutes total to speak, and we'll let you know in the chat or vocally by our district treasurer, Brandon Dimapasok, when you have 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 10 seconds left. After you're done speaking, please say I yield. Your time will begin whenever you start speaking. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, whenever you're ready, okay?
Okay. Just give me a really quick moment. My camera's like acting up a little bit.
Okay, yeah, this doesn't count. Whenever you're ready, okay?
Okay. Hello, Sunny CNH. My name is Ann Lee. My pronouns are she, her, hers. A few of you may know me, but I'm sure to most I'm a completely new face. That's why I'll take a little bit to talk about myself. I'm currently a 4th-year student at Orange Coast College, majoring in sociology. I served as OCC's club president and distinguished club secretary. On the district level, I have served as your district convention registration chair and currently the workshop's co-chair for spring training conference, along with the executive assistant for District Technology Committee and District Membership Development and Education Committee. My zodiac sign is a Virgo. Birds are my favorite animal. My favorite color is yellow and green. And I hope that gives you a little bit more of an insight into who I am. With the experience I have within Circle K International, I believe I would be able to best benefit this organization through District Secretary. Secretary was one of the positions where I grew most in, and I hold a soft spot for all secretaries. It allowed me to discover the true joy of this organization and position. That experience is something I will always treasure, and it's something that I want other secretaries to experience as well. Secretary isn't just all about Excels and forms. There's so much more that a secretary can do, and I want to help all secretaries discover that. My goals as district secretary revolve around 3 aspects: plant, nurture, and tend. What can I say? I love gardening. Plant. Plant more resources into our organization. With COVID-19 happening for almost a year now, I believe that we all see the little loops that need to be addressed. This year allowed us as an organization to see what we can and can't improve on, to make our members' experience more meaningful than ever. Now is the time to start a new chapter of Circle K, a new chapter where we're able to implement new ideas and goals rather than following tradition as we always do. An example, becoming more technology advanced. This includes seeing how our app can be used in more ways than just during FTC and DCON, continuing our project that allows SERFs and MRFs to be completed on a portal rather than an Excel form or Google Sheets, and creating a district database for easy access to information. Nurture. Nurture the current resources that we already have and nurture our organization. For club secretaries, this means more communication to ensure that secretaries fully understand their position. This includes training a secretary if their club is unable to, pushing out updated resources such as our SERF, MRF, and MRS manuals, hosting more one-on-ones and office hours along with more work nights. For the district, this means providing clubs with our district operating procedures and bylaws right off the bat, rather than having them find it themselves whenever they need it. Along with that, assisting clubs with building a solid foundation in terms of governing procedures and breaking down bylaws throughout the whole year so they're ready for elections. And more personal resources such as mental health and support spaces for our current issues within society. Tend. While this is extremely similar to nurturing, this is more of addressing and fixing rather than growing. For club secretaries, this means more feedback on MRFs and MRSs, setting a standard for these forms for secretaries to follow. For the district, this means reflecting on our district's past data and addressing these situations, allowing members to share their concerns through an open form or a survey. This allows us to address concerns the clubs have with the board and potentially even the other way around. Along with that, we also need to tend to our resources that we already have. We all talk about how we bring up new resources and what can be removed, but I believe a more important question is how do we make our current resources even better? We need to tend to our resources by ensuring all files and information is updated in time for the new term. Circle K International is a garden with unlimited opportunities, so let's become gardening buddies and work hard to make our garden bloom. Once again, my name is Ann Lee, and I'm running to be your next district secretary. I yield my remaining time for caucus.
Olivia.
Olivia Chang, Cal State Long Beach. I noticed that there's a lot of secretary resources that could be released out to the CNH. Having been on the district tech committee, how do you plan on communicating these resources to the district?
Thank you for your question, Olivia. So with how everything is online this year, it has showed us that all of our resources can be put out in many different ways. The resources can be shared through potentially the mobile app, email, on the website, and continuing to share it on Facebook. I believe using all of our resources that we currently have to push out all these resources to the district would be the best way to share.
Michelle from CSUN.
Hi, Michelle De Dios from CSU Northridge. And I'm obsessed with your idea of making the MRF on a portal. My only concern is how will we send that form to our faculty advisor and our Kiwanis representatives? Right now, the MRF is just in an Excel sheet that we can just email to them. If it's on a portal, will it be like the international MRF where it will give us a PDF and that we're able to forward to them, or how is that going to work?
Thank you for your question, Michelle. So right now, the Technology Committee is currently working on bettering the MRF portal, and to even turn it into a portal is going to take a very long time. But I believe right now, the way we're looking at sending the MRFs to people outside of CNH would be, they would have their individual account and they would be able to log into that portal and see all of the information that is pushed over to them. Either that, or it can be turned into a PDF such as how the iMRF is. Sadly, as of now, I can't really give you a solid answer. just because it really is still in the works. But I hope this answer satisfies you.
Vanessa?
How do you plan to assist clubs with the MRF, especially those that struggle with submitting them on time, or those clubs that are even unaware of the process?
Thank you for your question, Vanessa. So I believe the main way to assist these clubs would be to host work nights together, where district secretaries can come together and work on their MRFs and MRSs, and even IMRFs together. And in order to remind them, at the beginning of the term, I would like to send out a checklist and also the dates beforehand, so all these secretaries know. And if they do need more help, I'm more than willing to host a one-on-one with them to teach them everything they would need to know regarding anything secretary related.
Time.
Okay, thank you very much, Anne. Can you move back into the breakout room?
Yes, I'll try that right now.
You have the option? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Next, we'll have Matthew Ujimov. Hello, Matthew Ujimov. Are you in here?
Hello.
Awesome. Okay, hello, Matt. Just a reminder that you have 7 minutes total to speak, and we'll let you know in the chat or vocally by our district treasurer, Brandon Dimapasok, when you have 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 10 seconds left. After you're done speaking, please say I yield. Your time will begin whenever you start speaking. Sorry. And do you have any questions?
No.
Perfect. Whenever you're ready.
Hello, I am once again asking for your vote, CNH. I'd like to serve as your next district secretary for this upcoming term. I am not stepping down as secretary because I want a position. I truly want to make a data-driven difference in CNH. As a president, I was a secretary until I appointed Nathan Cortez later on in the term. And this year as LTG, I worked a lot with club MRFs, created a divisional data sheet, and worked on multiple district board proposals, like the DLT Member of the Year award. I want to conduct research, push for easier to read board reports, and revise the LTG and chair MRFs to make them more useful. I want to institute policies that make sure that the things that happened this year do not repeat themselves. Thank you, CNH, and it would be an honor to serve as your next district secretary. I yield the rest of my time for questions.
Thank you, Matt. Are there any questions? Chio from SAC.
Chio Sang, Sac State. Matthew, you said that you wanted to create a data-driven focus for the next term. Could you elaborate more on what you mean?
So one of the things that I did this term as LTG is I created a divisional data sheet with the help of my secretary and my executive assistant. I want to make sure every single LTG has the same opportunities and all the same data to help them make better decisions. I also would like to utilize the Laws and Regulations Committee to be more of a policy, elections, and research committee. I would like to research, like I said, when I was running for governor, realignment, recruitment, and other different things that will help us in the future. Utilizing that, we have a lot of data. Secretaries do MRFs every single month, and we don't currently utilize that data for things. And I want to make sure that the work that they're putting in does not go to waste.
Olivia
Chang, Cal State Long Beach. So going off that question, within the last few years, LNR has consistently changed its goals and purpose. So as also like the LNR chair, how do you plan on utilizing your committee and setting a defined path for future generations?
Personally, I feel like Ryan Tan this year made great strides in terms of founding what the Laws and Regulations Committee does. This year, he has done research, and it has been more about research and updating our bylaws to be more inclusive of everybody. These are things that I want to continue on in my term, and I want to make sure that the things that I institute with the Laws and Regulations Committee is consistent to the committee structure. Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Audrey from PCC.
As district secretary, you will be like communicating with club secretaries. Do you have a plan on how you would want to do that? Like how you'd want to communicate with them?
So this is something that I definitely do want to explore this year. I know that we've had the Tan Tuesday emails, and it's been pretty consistent, like Secretary Sundays, even before that. And I feel like the emails are definitely something I'd like to continue for people that do like to utilize the email for documents, Excel sheets, and things like that. In terms of communication to secretaries, I also would like to have like divisional secretary chats, similar to what I have in my own division. I have a chat with every single secretary within my division, where I can communicate with them deadlines as well as other things that come up. Ryan Tan was actually in the group chat for my division this year, and it's worked really well because if they had any question, they could ask it in the chat, and then Ryan would either respond or my divisional secretary responded.
Vanessa.
How do you plan to reach out to those clubs that are struggling with submitting their MRF on time, or even those who are unaware of the process?
So in regards to that, first of all, we need to figure out what are our active clubs before we can even move on to training secretaries on the processes of the MRF and how to like fill out an MRF. I would really utilize LTG communication as well as if there's anybody else inside the club, say the president, that I can communicate with as well. I'll definitely like to build those bridges early. And if anybody ever need any help, I would always create space for people to ask me for one-on-ones and create kind of like a help me form. So if they do need help, then I will always be willing to help them.
Kia?
Just saying, Sac State. You mentioned we have a lot of data and you plan to do a lot of research utilizing LNR and more in your position. What are some action items that you plan to create out of this research?
I feel like one of the things that we can do with this research is figure out where, like, what are the events that we're doing most in CNH, being able to like utilize, like, well, how many hours are we putting towards the DSI based on different DSIs, how many hours are club hosted service hours, how many are divisional hosted service hours. Being able to utilize all this different data, we can actually create better decisions for going into the future. We can figure out attendance numbers of DCMs, what events were best, where were the best locations for that division. By using all this information, we can make a better CNH.
Vanessa.
So following up on your answer, you mentioned that we should identify which clubs are active. So I just wanted to ask the relevance of that.
I feel like one of the things that like this year as LTG, it was really hard to reach out to know who my active clubs were because there was some clubs that were active but weren't turning in the MRFs each month. We need to like kind of similar to my DGov platform. We need to make sure that every club is active, and with that, we need to make sure that every club is submitting the MRF, so then we can have that data and that information.
Any further questions? Never mind. Thank you, Matt. Can you please move back into your breakout room?
They're in bad shape.
Next up, we'll have Douglas. Hello, Doug. Are you in the room?
Yes, hello.
Hello, Doug. Just a reminder that you have 7 minutes total to speak. We'll let you know in the chat or vocally by our district treasurer, Brandon Dimapasok, when you have 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 10 seconds left. After you are done speaking, please say I yield. Your time will begin whenever you start speaking. Do you have any questions?
No, Kat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon. My name is Douglas Shimizu from Cal State Fullerton, and my goals for this coming term are to support the secretaries, streamline district communication, and centralize resources. And here's how I plan to accomplish that. So to ensure the secretaries are prepared to take on their position throughout the first quarter of the term, I will focus on position education by conducting secretary webinars in addition to promoting and creating resources such as the MRF checklist and secretary guide. And these will be presented through biweekly emails as well. Since some secretaries work with the monthly report form as well as the master record sheet, I'll work with the MR chair to create a detailed guide so it's a little bit easier for the secretaries to maintain accurate club records and transfer data between both documents. I'll also host office hours and one-on-ones to ensure the secretaries have the opportunity to grow and feel confident in their position by addressing their concerns and questions. In terms of LNR, I plan to research topics such as divisional conclaves, realignment, and redefining district operating procedures and bylaws. I plan to build on the extensive research done by regarding divisional conclaves and utilize the committee to further explore this avenue for the elections of future district boards. I'll use the committee to strengthen the district's overall education on the governing documents through seasonal webinars covering the DOP, the bylaws, election procedures, and amending bylaws. Through my experience in Circle K, I have consistently experienced lackluster communication between the district board and the clubs. To address this, I will collaborate with the Communications and Marketing Committee to condense all proposals, changes, and items discussed and resolutions reached before and after each formal and informal district board meeting by releasing an infographic on the district website and social media accounts. On a quarterly basis, I'll also detail the district's trends and totals, as well as updates from each district committee in an article on the district website or in an infographic. This means I'll have to emphasize the importance of district board MRFs. So this especially relates to the district chairs. And specifically for the district chairs, I want to make sure that their MRFs are more specific so that their reports include their future plans, goals, and specific deadlines for their events that they're planning. And so that it's easy to find and communicate with the clubs. In terms of centralizing resources, I plan to do this for both the district board and the clubs. So let's start with the district board. So I plan for the district board to create a legacy database, which will allow easy access for the resources utilized by the current and past district board members. So those will be sort of combined into one. And in terms of the club, I'll be working closely with the technology chair to restructure the district website and make it easier to navigate and update it with current resources. In addition, I want to utilize the Solstice app as a hub for district resources and finish the development of the online MRF portal by providing constructive feedback and consistently checking in on the progress towards its completion. Thank you. I now yield the rest of my time to caucus.
Are there any questions? Olivia?
Olivia Chang. District Secretary, you'll be expected to take minutes during district board meetings and be the right hand to the DGov. So as such, how do you plan to provide your input to the board and have a strong presence as an executive board member?
So as an executive board member, I feel that it's important for me to encourage communication between the chairs and the lieutenant governors, because obviously the lieutenant governors are in direct contact with their clubs. So by keeping the lieutenant governors in the loop with what the chairs are up to, that means everyone will be in the loop at some point. Thank you for your question.
Emily?
Transfer students typically have a hard time transferring their information from one club to another. As district secretary, what will you do to ease this process and help transfer students get to their new institution?
So in terms of like transferring students, I had to deal with this when I was club secretary a couple of years ago, and seeing the current like district documents haven't changed that much. I know like the process for transferring between schools is kind of the same. So one of the ideas that I will implement is also a video tutorial, because I feel that it's really hard for secretaries for me to just explain it through like an email. So it'd be better if I were to screen share and like show them exactly how to continue this process. And this applies for even transferring between the MRF and the MRS. So yes, thank you for your question.
Olive?
Olivia Chang, Cal State Long Beach. As a district board member, how will you ensure you address crises like COVID-19 effectively and quickly?
So that's the point of, so when I'm talking about like restructuring the website, that's sort of where I wanted to direct traffic to when it comes to like these causes. So if the website's really organized and it's updated with like the latest news with what the district chairs are up to and like what the district board is advocating for currently, then I think that it will be easily accessible to like all members to like just direct them to the district website. Thank you for your question.
Nelly from UNLV.
Nelian Navarro, UNLV. So as DSEC, you have to frequently communicate with all the other secretaries of the district. So are there any other ways of implementing any other communication methods you have in mind for communicating with your secretaries?
So I think as you've heard, all of you have heard this weekend, I think Facebook is also a tying platform. And I think that shifting it to like a more modern platform such as Discord, because I know a lot of clubs are starting to shift up like to Discord, and while Zoom is like still, actually I wouldn't say Zoom is a good medium. Let's say more modern platforms like Discord and like Instagram would be more modern platforms to communicate with the secretaries, in addition to like email, of course. Thank you for your question.
Olive?
Olivia Change, Cal State Long Beach. So do you believe the change to Google Form was necessary this term? And if not, how would you make it more accessible to all secretaries for all experience levels?
So in terms of the transition to Google Forms, I think it depends on your club. So it depends how your club operates and whatever is easiest for your secretaries and what your club has done. So for me, I'm really flexible and I can help secretaries implement the Google form, but also implement more traditional ways, such as surfing through like a Google Drive or just like emailing your secretary for surf. But thank you for your question.
Any other questions?
Time.
Okay, thank you. And Doug, you may stay here since you are the last candidate for this caucus session. Eddie, can you close all the rooms or invite everybody to come back besides Justin? Yes. Okay, so with that, we will close the caucus session. Brandon, your hand was up.
Point of information.
Yes.
If we were to ask for like a recess, like, is there like a time limit, like that we have to follow, or?
It depends on whoever makes a motion, right? Yeah.
Yeah, for the House votes for it.
Yeah,
It requires a 2/3 vote.
Yeah, it requires a 2/3 vote. I don't think there's a specific time limit. It could be however you want, however long you'd want it, but it has to be passed. The quicker, the better.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yes, Brandon?
Can I make a motion?
Yes.
I move to have a recess for 7 minutes to discuss, or do we have reason, or?
No.
No, yeah, I move for a recess for 7 minutes.
Okay, motion made by Brandon. Is there a second? Olive?
Sorry, no.
Sorry. Zena from UNLV.
She knows.
Oh, I second the motion.
Okay. Motion made by Brandon, seconded by Dana. With that being said, those in favor, please raise your hand.
Supermajority, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is a supermajority vote.
40 people.
So just say.
Okay, last call. Okay, you guys may lower your hands.
That was how many?
Thank you. Those opposed, please raise your hand. Last call. Thank you. You guys may lower your hands. A point of information question from Emily. Yes.
Point of information. So I know we set this for 7 minutes, but if people do need more time, can we move for a second recess following this one?
Tell her that you need to declare the results of the.
Okay.
First declare the results of the vote and then answer Emily's question.
Okay, yeah, we have to declare the final results. So unfortunately, since it needs a supermajority, the motion does not pass. And with that, a motion to extend or decrease the time may be created at the moment.
A new motion.
Yeah, sorry, a new motion can be created. Vanessa?
I move to suspend House rules to allow for 15 minutes of recess.
Is there a second? Olive?
Olivia Chang, Cal State Long Beach, I second that motion.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you. With that, those in favor, please raise your hand. Camille. Thank you. You guys may lower. Okay, thank you. Those opposed, please raise your hand. Please lower your hand. With that, wait. Okay, with that, the motion passes and we'll move on to a 15-minute recess. So we'll reconvene at 4 o'clock. You all have to stay in the room. Do not leave the room, please. I repeat, do not leave the room. Doug, Matt, did you guys have a question?
Douglas Shimizu, Cal State Fullerton. Point of information.
Yes.
Should the candidates go to a breakout room that was assigned to them?
No. You guys, yeah, you guys are good. You guys could stay here. Matt,
Point of information, can delegates reach out to candidates with questions during recess?
yes, they can.
Hey, Kat.
Yes.
What is the time we are reconvening?
4.
Okay.
Is everyone okay? Did you guys feel the earthquake for all the SoCal people?
I didn't feel it.
There's an earthquake? I thought it was my chair.
Okay, well, be careful. Stay safe.
I didn't feel anything. Like I was eating.
Me neither.
I heard it.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
I think I'm immune.
I think it was my stomach grumbling.
This is a ground-shattering election.
Wait, what? Wait, Ryan, I live like right next to you. I didn't hear an earthquake. We live in the same exact city.
Oh, I'm in
Oh, JK.
I'm in Rancho right now. At Audrey.
All right, Olive, what about you? You live like 20 minutes away from me.
Aline.
4 minutes left. One minute left. Okay, time is up. Is everyone back? Please turn on your cameras to indicate that you guys are ready. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys utilize your 15 minutes well. Due to the process of time, we will be moving straight on to our ballots. Eddie, do you want to make any announcements?
Yeah, so we'll be moving on to the voting process for district secretary. It'll be the oh, yeah. Hello. It'll be the same process as before with the district governor. I will post the form into the Zoom chat, and you will have to input a valid email address and a PIN number. This is a reminder that the PIN number was sent to you in the first email from the CNH CTI elections at gmail.com address. So make sure you are putting in a valid PIN number. You'll have 5 minutes to send in the ballot before we close the ballot process. And with that, do I have your permission to post?
Yes.
Okay, with that, I will be posting the ballot in the chat right now.
5 minutes to cast.
You have 5 minutes to cast your vote.
Three more minutes.
Oh,
2 minutes left. One minute left.
Less than 1 minute.
Time. So we'll be moving on to, as we're counting the ballots, we'll be moving on to Ryan's speech as DSEC.
Hello, everyone. So if you weren't aware, my name is Ryan Tan, and I currently serve as the district secretary for this upcoming term. So a secretary is generally a note taker or a record keeper, but my secretaries were so much more. This year, I wanted to create a space where secretaries felt they could go above and beyond their traditional secretarial duties. And next thing we knew, we became the CNH Starry-Cherries. These hardworking individuals submitted monthly report forms all year long to ensure that their club's activities will be recorded and recognized by the district. Their tenacity and determination throughout this term constantly inspired me to continue leading this amazing group of officers. I'm incredibly proud of each and every one of you for finishing this term so strong. Finally, the District Laws and Regulation Committee, the 5 wonderfully weird and weirdly wonderful individuals that joined me this year in making great progress in the trajectory of this committee for the future. This year, we created the very first CNH research paper, released an election kit, helped clubs with their virtual club elections, assisted in the district elections, and made multiple proposals to the district governing documents. Working with you was a mix of so many emotions, but I wouldn't change any minute of it. Each of you have such unique and fun personalities that brought something new to the group. I'm so proud of each and every one of you and also what we were able to accomplish this year. Now, for the final time this term, here are the district totals for the 2020 to 2021 term. These numbers are taken from the club monthly report forms and an end of the month summary section. For service hours, we did 24,053 service hours. For leadership hours, we served 61,529. And for fellowship, we served 44,452 hours. Thank you all so much for your hard work this term. Without you, these tremendous numbers wouldn't be possible. Each and every one of you made a contribution in this district in some way, helping us achieve our collective goal. It's been a pleasure and an honor serving you as your district secretary this term. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, for all of your hard work. We are done counting the ballots, but let me review the results. Okay, sorry, we're still in the process of counting our ballots and we'll be double checking. During the meantime, please hold on tight and, send some love to Ryan Tan, our DSEC. I don't know why I said it like that. Sometimes you just gotta spice up House of Delegates somehow, whether it be an earthquake, okay, I need to stop. Hello, everyone. So the results are in and we do have a valid election. So can I please have a drum roll, please? People in the live stream, you guys could do it too. Drop like, I don't know, an emoji or something, okay? So our DSEC for the incoming term is Douglas Shimizu from Cal State Fullerton. Wow. Okay, so I'll be closing the breakout rooms and just give us a moment as we refresh ourselves. Okay, awesome. So we'll be moving on to the position of D-Treasurer or district treasurer. Since that there's no current candidates, I'll be opening up the floor for nominations. Chio from Sac State.
I, Chia Sang, nominate Anna Espinoza from Sac State for the position of district treasurer.
Thank you. We'll be inviting Anna into the waiting room.
Yes.
Anna, are you in the House of Delegates? Anna?
Hello, I accept.
Hello, Anna. Can you? Okay. Hello, Anna. Do you accept your nomination for the position of district treasurer?
Yes, I accept.
Awesome. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, we'll be moving on to a caucus session.
Declare the nominations
Or-
closed.
So, sorry, I declare the nominations closed.
All right.
And we'll be moving on to caucus for Anna. So Anna, you may stay in the room. Great. Sorry, my bad. It's been a long day. I would like to entertain a motion to call a recess for the caucus session. Is there a motion on the table? On the floor? Doug,
Douglas Shimizu, Cal State Fullerton, so moved.
Chio,
Chia Sang, Sac State. I second.
motion made by Doug, seconded by Chio. Those in favor, please use the raise hand feature.
Requires a 2/3 vote.
It requires a 2/3 vote. Thank you. I will now lower all hands. Those it's about objecting? Opposed, sorry. Those opposed, please raise your hand. Seeing none, the motion passes and we'll be moving forward with our caucus session for district treasurer. Okay. Anna, are you ready?
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to say.
Okay, sorry, no, I wasn't sure. Okay, so Anna, just a reminder, you have 7 minutes total to speak, and we'll let you know in the chat or verbally by our district treasurer, Brandon Dimapasok, when you have 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, or sorry, not 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 10 seconds left. After you're done speaking, please say I yield. Your time will begin when you start speaking. Do you have any questions?
Nope, we're good to go.
Perfect. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. So hi everyone, my name is Anna Espinoza and I'm currently a third-year medical biology major at Sacramento State. My experiences include being the 2019-2020 fundraising chair and the current 2020-2021 treasurer for my home club. There are 3 goals I would like to implement through my term if I were to be elected district treasurer, and the first being transparency. So I would like to discuss fundraising totals and brainstorm ideas to increase funding. I would like to share input about past fundraisers and how they did. I would also like to freely discuss strategies in hosting a successful fundraising event and privately discuss club standing in regards to funds, as in whether your club is in debt or has low funding. And this is extremely important to me because during my term, my club was left with $3,000 of debt. So I had to work extremely hard with my fundraising chair to make sure that we were increasing our funds as well as managing wisely without excessive spending. This is important because you can't fix the situation unless it is discussed. And I would like to help out with that process to ensure success and positive turnover. Another thing I would like to implement is provide support and clear communication. I would like to provide a welcoming environment for communication by introducing myself independently to oncoming treasurers and fundraising chairs, as well as just check in with them periodically and just talk about anything to build trust. I also want to have one-on-ones throughout the term with treasurers and fundraising chairs to oversee their progress, go through any difficulties that they may be facing in their position, and perhaps brainstorm ideas and ways they can improve their outreach and participation. I would like to provide help and feedback about their fundraisers and provide a supportive environment beyond my position to ensure the wellness of others. Lastly, I would like to provide resources such as workshops and templates that are visually engaging and informative for the treasurers and fundraising chairs. I would like to have short seasonal meetings about upcoming major events throughout the future term to get our treasurers and fundraising chairs prepared, provide spreadsheets with treasurer and fundraising chair emails for increased accessibility, and post board emails and additional available platforms such as Facebook groups, and maybe a Discord group if we're up to that. And provide an in-depth informative spreadsheet about what the 3 DFIs are, ways to raise funding for them, and any other media that may help with workshops or webinars. Overall, my mission is to ensure that treasurers and fundraising chairs have the proper resources and supportive environment to properly succeed during their term. I yield my time. I am ready for caucus.
Emily?
Since you will be chairing 5 Fund Committee if you are district treasurer, what experience do you have chairing committees that go towards large-scale fundraising events?
This would be, oh, that's a good question, actually. So I did previously have a fundraising chair committee, fundraising committee. So I did a lot of big annual events that I helped fundraise for a club. So basically I would utilize that and hopefully I would get a lot of engagement depending on how well everybody's communication skills are. So yeah, it's just making sure that everybody's held accountable and we can all communicate.
Olive?
Olivia Chang, Cal State Long Beach. Coming from a larger club, how you make sure that the resources are accommodated to both large and like smaller?
I know a lot of small scale schools don't really have enough support or people in their club. So what I would do is make like different spreadsheets or spreadsheets that would be accommodable for small schools. And there's a lot of resources that the school gives clubs, as in funding and stuff. So I would probably talk to them about that and maybe help them throughout the process too, because I know it can be a little difficult.
Any further questions? Olive?
Olivia Chang, Cal State Long Beach. So our current resources, fundraising resources, we actually do have a lot. They're just very outdated. So how would you work to improve the current resources, such as the fundraising database as well as the manual?
So a lot of the resources I'm not happy with, with the treasurer ones, they're really outdated. So I created some templates already that I can implement into this new term if I were to be elected, and just honestly make it a lot prettier and engaging and visually stimulating to the eye, as well as not just have it as a Word document or anything, but also have slides that are appealing, and then workshop slides that possibly help, and maybe videos to go through the mug and stuff like that and explain DFIs, because I know it can be a little intimidating.
Matthew Ujimov?
With the widespread, Matthew Uyuma of El Camino College, with the widespread ban on Venmo within our district, how are you going to make sure to assist clubs in transitioning over to PayPal or other means?
That's not difficult to do. Basically, I would first like to have like a meeting about it and discuss what platforms would be most appropriate for us to use. Because I know some people have preference. I know there's Square, there's PayPal, and then there's like a few other different ones. But I would also talk to your Kiwani if you have that close relation to see what they would provide and accept too, because sometimes one application is easier than the other.
Emily?
Do you have any very specific plans to help clubs that are currently deactivated or unchartered get back to charter status?
Currently I don't. I would have to do some research just because I'm not familiar with people who have that status, but I would really try my best. And if it's a numbers game where you have to have a certain amount of people, then I would try my best to help them promote their club, as well as seek help from the school for funding.
Olivia?
Olivia Chang, Cal State Long Beach. So usually treasurer is more timid position and the person in it. So how would you make sure you have a strong presence on the board and provide your input as an executive member?
I would make sure resources are.
Hi.
I'll send you a text.
Okay. Thank you. So with that, we'll be moving on to our ballot.
Yes.
And Eddie, do you want to make any remarks?
Hello, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Testing, testing. Okay, hello again. I'm here with another ballot for the position of district treasurer. It's going to work the same way as last time, so I'll be posting the form into the chat. Another reminder is that please have your PIN number ready from the first email. This is a reminder, please use PIN number 3 right now, PIN number 3, and a valid email address. We will be posting it here into the chat, and you'll have 5 minutes in total to cast your ballot. Any ballots that are not cast within a time frame will not be included in the final count. If I have the permission of the district governor, I post it. Okay. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay. It is now in the chat, and you have till 4:30 p.m. to cast your ballot.
2 minutes left. One minute left. Thirty seconds. Time. Okay, during the meantime, as we're counting the ballots, can I please have our district treasurer, Brandon Dimapasov? Okay, wait, I don't know. Okay, yes, you may do your speech.
All right. Thank you, Governor Cat. Yes, so hello, CNH. Thank you so much for this opportunity to serve as your district treasurer this past term. It has definitely been one of the most rewarding and memorable experiences in my life. I came into this term striving to be a support system for treasurers and fundraising chairs. But what I found was this, and while I strove for that goal, what I also found was a support system that has supported me so much along the way this entire term. First off, to the district finance and fundraising committee. Thank you for making my experience as district treasurer so fun, so memorable, and so rewarding. Together, we planned the first ever and online and district-wide crazy competition for infants, hosted many workshops and webinars, and put together fundraisers for FCC and DCON, including the PTP GoFundMe campaign, which is still going on, and it's available on the DCON website. Next, to the club treasurers and fundraising chairs. Simply put, you are all super, super amazing. It has been a pleasure and honor to work with all of you this term and to connect with all of you through emails, through Facebook messages, or through one-on-ones. Despite the odds, you all have dealt with dues and the membership update center. You have budgeted your club's funds and also raised so much money for our DFIs and for our other worthwhile causes. Throughout this term, I've seen so many innovative and unique fundraisers for so many important causes. I'm so proud of each and every single one of you. And also to district board. You are all some of the most hardworking and passionate people I've ever had the opportunity to work with. As someone who's never served on the district level before, but was now a district executive, I was pretty scared and fearful starting out this term. But from day one, thank you to all of you for being so supportive. I'm so proud and thankful for each of you and all that we were able to accomplish this term. With all that said, I'm happy to report that for the 2020-2021 term, CNH has a total of 1,232 dues paid members, for a total of $12,320 in district dues collected. In terms of fundraising, this term, our district has raised the following amounts for each DFI. For PTP, we have raised $11,000 $408.72. For Kiwanis Family House, we have raised $9,620.77. For the Environmental Defense Fund, we have raised $10,281.55. For the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, we have raised $6,101.10. And for other charities, we have raised $27,746.72. So that brings our fundraising total for the year to $65,158.56. I'm very proud of every single club, of every single treasurer and fundraising chair in contributing to that goal. Thank you, CNH, for your hard work and passion, which has and will inspire me each and every single day. This has really been the opportunity of a lifetime, and I will take the lessons, memories, and friendships from this past term with me, always. Thank you.
Love you, Brandon. Woo.
Okay, so we're still in the midst of counting all the ballots and making sure that it's verified. So just hold on tight, everyone. And thank you to those who are in the live stream still. I'm so sorry it's so long. Sending you guys lots of love. Hello, everyone. So we have the results for this DTreJ election. We unfortunately did not reach a valid election. Therefore, the position of district treasurer will be filled by the appointed process. Now we'll proceed with the LTG elections. Sorry, give me a moment. Let me refresh. Okay, thank you so much for your patience, y'all. We'll start off with Capital Division Lieutenant Governor elections. Our current, the current candidate that will be running is Erin Pina from UN Reno.
We need to open nominations.
Yeah. However, we'll be opening up the floor for nominations.
They have to be nominated too.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Chio?
Chio Sang, Sac State. I nominate Brandon Capulong for the position of Capital Lieutenant Governor.
Brandon?
Brandon Capulong, Sacramento State. I accept the nomination.
Thank you, Brandon. Is there a nomination for Aaron Pina? Jackie?
Jackie Vallow, University of Nevada, Reno. I, Jackie Vallow, nominate Aaron Pina for the position of Capital Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you. Aaron, are you in the room? Aaron will be joining us right now.
Hello.
Hello, Aaron. Do you accept your nomination for the position of Capital Lieutenant Governor?
Yes, I, Aaron Pena, accept the nomination.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the floor for nominations. Since we have another candidate, we will be opening up a recess for caucus. And I entertain a motion to open up the recess for a caucus. Is there a motion on the table? Floor. Darian?
Darian Valoria, UC Davis, so moved.
Thank you, Darian.
Ask her for the length of, oh.
Is there a second? Hyunjin?
Hyunjin Kim, Moore Park College, I second.
Motion made by Darian, seconded by Hyunjin. With that, those in favor, please raise your hand. Last call. Once again, any last calls? Okay, thank you. You guys may lower your hands. Those object, please raise your hand.
Can you guys have?
Okay, you guys may lower your hands. So with that, the motion passes. So we'll be moving on to a caucus for the position of Capital Lieutenant Governor. With that, Ryan, can you put Aaron Pina into a breakout room?
Well, you could have.
Okay. Brandon Capulon, are you in the room?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. We'll begin your caucus procedure. So hello, Brandon. Just a reminder that you have 7 minutes total to speak, and we'll let you know in the chat or verbally by our district treasurer, Brandon Dimapasok, when you have 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 10 seconds left. After you're done speaking, please say I yield. Your time will begin whenever you start speaking. Do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hello, Capitol and the rest of CNH. My name is Brandon Capulong, and I'm running for a chance to be your next Lieutenant Governor. Being real, I've really been on the fence about running for a while and only decided to run last night. I wanted to give this division another option, and whether I'm better or worse or something different is entirely up for you to decide. For those who don't know my background, I've been in Circle K longer than most. I've had years of experience being on board with a small school when I was at Diablo Valley College, and I've served on board at Sacramento State Circle K for the past 3 years, with most recently being their club president. If elected, I really have one main goal. I want to make this division more fun. I want to be able to plan divisional events that people get excited about attending and being creative when it comes to planning DCMs. I want to ensure that any event planned will be properly advertised and communicated with the rest of the division at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance. I also want to ensure that helping struggling schools is still a top priority. I want to establish a line of communication with all schools in our division to figure out where everyone is at and go forward from there, with monthly PCMs and checkups being a part of that plan. And of course, if it's safe and with heavy president input, I want to transition slowly back to in-person events if the weather allows it. This pandemic has hit us hard, and the rest of the district hard. And as we possibly return to some form of normalcy, I want to be there to help with the transition. I know you all have so many questions, so I'd like to yield the rest of my time to caucus.
Just a heads up, only Capitol delegates may ask questions.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a question? Chio?
Just saying, Sac State. Brandon, you said you wanted to make the division more fun, so I was just wondering what other ideas outside of the capital events that we already have were you thinking of implementing?
Thank you, Chio, for your question. So the past year, every single DCM has been almost the same. It's just been a Zoom call, same structure, updates, small divisional updates, district updates, and that was it. There wasn't really any excitement to it. It was just do this, and then that was it. I want to utilize other forms of ways to meet up instead of using just Zoom. Other things we could use is something like Gather Town, or being even more creative and like having like a Roblox themed DCM or even a Minecraft themed DCM. So those are some of my ideas.
Jackie?
Jackie Falla, University of Nevada, Reno. How do you plan to effectively communicate and support incoming presidents going into the new term?
Thank you, Jackie. So one thing I definitely want to input right away is establishing communication with everyone, making a group chat with all the presidents and talking about what my goals are for becoming lieutenant governor, and talk about what your goals are so I can better help serve you guys, because this position is meant to serve the presidents and the rest of the division. I may have my goals, but of course yours will always supersede that. Just making sure that we have monthly PCMs, and also ensuring that everyone in the division is aware of what everyone else is planning, so that way there are no issues, for example, like having banquet dates on the same date or anything like that.
Angela?
Angelina UC Davis. Brandon, you served on board for 3 years now, so how will you prevent burnout within yourself as well as your DLT?
Right. Thank you, Angelina. So one thing I always do, if I ever feel burnt out, I always communicate about it. So if I'm feeling very like I'm being overwhelmed, I would let the presidents know, or let my board know, and I would basically ask if anyone can help take the load off with delegating some tasks. Other ways is just talking about it with other people. It really does help because definitely communication is what not communicating is what leads to issues when people are burnt out.
Soren?
Hello, Soren Spada, UC Davis. How do you plan to increase our divisional spirit and our divisional unity over the next term?
Okay, thank you, Soren, for your question. So one thing we stopped doing as a division was doing club cheers when we had inter club buddy challenges. I would love to implement that because almost an entire generation of Capital members don't know what other schools cheers are, and if we go back and implement that during DCMs, even if they do it through Zoom, if we still have online DCMs or meetings, it would still be effective because that way it can pass on letting know what other division what other schools cheers are.
Angelina?
Angelina, UC Davis. Brandon, how do you plan on improving service hours for our division that remains impactful?
Okay, thank you, Angelina. So one of the things I want to do is to have more meaningful service. So things we've done is dog toys. As a division, we've done letters for literacy and other things. But the thing is, we've never really followed up with it. So something I want to do is if we do online service events, I want to make sure that we follow up. So if we are doing something that donates to a certain organization, I can follow it up with, here's what we've done with at the service event. And this is what we're donating. And it shows like we actually are making an impact, and it would encourage other members to attend more service events.
Chia?
Chia Sang, Sac State. What are your plans for your divisional leadership team?
Thank you, Chio. So for a DLT, I do want to somewhat condense it this year. I would like to have an EA, a C&M chair, a spirit social chair, and a service chair. And then in terms of committees, I do want to ad hoc committees. I do want to continue, such as the CLSSP chair. And thank you for your question.
Thank you, Brandon. Can you move back to your breakout room?
I don't have a breakout room.
Ryan is working on it.
Okay, thank you.
Brandon, can you raise your hand? So it will be easier to identify. Thank you.
Got you.
With that, I'll be closing the caucus. I know Brandon is still in here, so we'll wait. But we'll be moving forward with Aaron Pina as he'll give us his 1-minute speech before we deliberate and vote.
Think of the civics lesson.
Okay. Hello, Aaron. Aaron Pina, are you still in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
We'll be giving you a 1-minute opportunity to say any last-minute remarks. Whenever you're ready, okay, Aaron?
Okay, thank you. What's crack-a-lack in Capital? For the past 2 years, I've had the honor and privilege of being able to be a part of Circle K and make the most out of my experience with members and leaders like all of you. I hope that in the last day and in this last term, I've shown all of you that I have a mission, a passion, and a drive to give back to this organization that has given so much to me and be able to share the good news of revitalizing, reimagining, and refocusing Capital Division to be the hot girl of the summer and of the term. I thank you all for your time and your dedication and your service to this amazing organization, And one last reminder that I, Aaron Pena, am ecstatic to be running to be your next Lieutenant Governor of Capital Division of the CNH District of Circle K International. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. You're good. So with that, we'll be opening up the ballots to vote for Capital LTG. This is exclusively only for Capital delegates. Eddie, did you have any remarks?
Hello. Hello again. Can you hear me? Okay. So this one will be a little bit different than the past ones. For the LTG ballots, they'll be sent directly to your registered email that you did with the House of Delegates form. So please have that open and ready. I'll be sending it out soon. Same thing as last time, you'll be using your PIN number for this. This is specifically for Capital. If you are not part of Capital, then this will not apply to you. And then just a reminder, if you do not use a valid email address, or if you use an invalid PIN, or it's not within the 5 minutes, then it will not be counted towards the final result. If I have the permission of the district governor, I will be sending those out right now. So when I send them out, then the timer will start. They have been sent out, and you have till 5 o'clock to cast your ballot.
Okay, as they're counting the ballots, we'll be moving on to Central Coast nominations. I will be opening up the floor. Anyone? I heard Central Coast is pretty cool. They have a pretty cool current, like their current LTG is pretty cool. I heard their advisors. He's okay. Going once, going twice, please. Okay, with that, we'll close. Oh, Soren?
Soren Spada, UC Davis. Can I motion to extend the ballot timer by 5 minutes?
Extend the ballot timer for 5 minutes.
Correct.
The vote's already in progress.
Unfortunately, we can't make a motion during this time because the vote is in process. So with that, for Sunco, since there are no there's no candidates, it'll be filled through the appointed application process.
Okay, next division.
Okay, next up, we'll have Citrus Division. I open up the floor for any nominations.
I see Doug's hand.
Doug?
Which means the Cal State Fullerton, I nominate Johnny Lee for the position of Citrus Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you. Give me a moment. Ryan, can you invite Johnny into the room? Johnny, are you in the room? Johnny
Yes,
Lee?
I am.
Perfect. So Johnny, do you accept your nomination for the position of Citrus Lieutenant Governor?
I, Johnny Lee, accept the nomination for the position of Citrus Lieutenant Governor.
Okay, perfect.
They have
Any other nominations on the floor?
they have 8.
Okay, with that, we'll close the floor for nominations for the position of Citrus Lieutenant Governor. Are we? So with that, we'll be moving on to Johnny's 1-minute speech. Johnny, whenever you're ready, okay?
Hello, California, Nevada, and Hawaii. My name is Johnny. Throughout the past year to this very day, we have encountered difficulties as a whole district, even division. Together, I do believe we can reach an improvement to work together on an efficient goal planning to boost the clubs throughout the division with regards to enhancing the divisional spirit, membership retention, recharting, and strengthening small clubs to have their spotlight across the division. In addition, to make sure every club shares their fair share of interclubbing and participating in divisional council meetings, divisional service projects, club general meetings, and more. When we're all in this together, we'll get better results and resources, and the future will be bright. If elected, I will look forward to working and serving with you all and lead as a representative and example as a Citrus Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you, Johnny. And with that, we'll be moving on to a ballot. Eddie, any remarks? Sorry, give us a moment. Ryan?
Ryan Tan, Cal State Fullerton. I, Ryan Tan, move to vote Johnny Lee by unanimous acclamation for the position of Citrus Lieutenant Governor.
Is there a second? Douglas Shimizu?
Douglas Shimizu, Cal State Fullerton. I second.
Okay, with that, we'll be moving on to, oh, wait.
So you need to take.
So for the Citrus delegates, we'll be voting on a vote with acclamation. Therefore, for only Citrus delegates, please raise your hand in favor of the acclamation. Okay, so with that, the motion passes. And
Congratulations, Johnny.
Congratulations, Johnny. You're now officially Citrus Lieutenant Governor. Wow, grand. Okay, sorry, I'm being annoying.
Okay, announce the results of Capitol.
We have a valid election for Capitol. Can I please get a drum roll, please? Our next Capitol Lieutenant Governor is Aaron Pina. Amazing. Brandon from sorry, UCI, Brandon.
Sorry, I just forgot to lower my hand.
Okay, please make sure to lower your hands.
It's okay.
Okay, awesome. Moving on to Desert Oasis Lieutenant Governor. Is there a nomination on the floor? Diana from UNLV.
UNLV Dana Dimson. I, Dana Dimson, nominate Aero Cruz for the position of Desert Oasis LTG.
Thank you, Dana. Is Nelly from UNLV?
Nelly and Navarro, UNLV. I second.
Motion made by Dana, seconded by Nelly. Okay. Arrow, are you in the room? Arrow, are you in the room? Arrow? Nelly from UNLV.
Nelly and Navarro.
Arrow?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Do you accept the nomination for the position of Desert Oasis Lieutenant Governor? Perfect. Thank you. Are there any further nominations for the position of Desert Oasis Lieutenant Governor? Okay. Seeing none, Arrow, you will have a 1-minute opportunity to give your 1-minute speech. Oh, sorry, and I declare the nominations closed. And Arrow, you may go ahead with your 1-minute speech.
Hello, I'm Arrow. I'm a third-year student and Circle K member at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time today and yesterday. I would like to reiterate a couple of my points from yesterday. If elected, I would focus on the areas of communication, connection, foundation, and availability. Desert Oasis is a small division. Yes, it's true. However, I would just like to point out we're not composed of a large quantity of members. However, we more than make up for this in quality of members. This year, we did really well with increasing socials and interclubs, and I would like to continue this. Continuing this trend falls under connections, as well as the attention I would like to draw to strengthening the connections between the members of the clubs, the division, and the district board officers and committee members. As for availability, I believe the best quality of the leader is the ability to listen, so I would make myself available to all members of the club, whether they are general members, appointed board members, or executive board members. All members are important, and all members deserve their voices to be heard. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Arrow. And we'll be moving on to Nelly.
Is it moved on to caucus now? Or are we allowed to ask questions or? Sorry, I wasn't sure because I know you weren't finished.
Oh, no, you're good. So we already caucused the past yesterday, so we don't need another caucus session.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. Okay.
Is there a motion she'd like to make?
Are there any motions you guys would like to make? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to a ballot. Eddie, do you want to make, or not Eddie? Yeah, Eddie, do you want to make any remarks?
Hello, Desert Oasis. Yep. Hello, Desert Oasis delegates. Same thing for you as it was for Capital. I'll be sending an email shortly with your delegate form where you'll be able to vote for LTG. Please remember it's pin number 4 that you'll be inputting this time. Please use a valid email as well. And if any of those are incorrect, your ballot will not be cast and you will have 5 minutes to cast your ballot as well. So again, remember to keep it'll be through the registered email that you sent out with your House of Delegates form, okay? So with the permission of the District Governor, I will send out the ballots. They have been sent out and you have until 5:13 to cast your ballot.
Okay, we'll be moving on to Foothill Division. I open the floor for nominations. Chloe from PCC.
Chloe Leung from PCC. I would like to nominate Ping Tran for LTG.
Okay. Ping will be entering the room. Ping, are you inside? Hello, Ping. Hello, hello. Ping, can you unmute yourself? Hello, Ping. So, do you accept your nomination for the position of Foothill Lieutenant Governor?
Yes, I do.
Awesome, thank you. Are there any further nominations for the position of Foothill Lieutenant Governor? Okay, seeing none, we'll be moving forward with Ping's 1-minute speech for her position as Foothill Lieutenant Governor. And I declare the nominations are closed. You may proceed.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fing Tram, and I'm a 4th year at Pasadena City College studying business administration. And I'm currently the Foothill Member Recognition Chair, and I'm running for your 2021-2022 Foothill Lieutenant Governor. Just a refresher, here are my 3 main goals: increase membership by 10% and provide support for all clubs and members, as well as create resources and biweekly checkups for officers. By having your vote, I'm willing to bring those goals to success and rise above the ashes as a fellow Phoenix. Thank you all for your time.
Ping. With that, are there any motions on the floor? Okay. Emily?
I, Emily Real from Pasadena City College, move to vote in Ping Tram for Foothill Lieutenant Governor by unanimous acclamation.
Thank you. Emily, is there a second? Audrey from PCC.
Audrey Abbott, VCC, I second the motion.
Motion made by Emily, seconded by Audrey. Those in favor, please raise your hand. This only applies to Foothill delegates. Sorry, give us a moment. We're processing another vote. Okay, please, last call. Okay, thank you. You guys may lower your hands. Okay, with that, those opposed, please raise your hand. Okay, so unfortunately, it does not pass because it does not reach a unanimous vote. A unanimous vote for this position would require 7. Okay, so with that, we'll be moving on to a ballot vote. Eddie?
Yep. Hello again. This is for Foothill. Just a quick reminder that I will be sending out to registered delegates emails that have already been confirmed by your House of Delegates form. You'll be using the 4th PIN number, so please remember that, and a registered email address. If any of those are incorrect, your ballot will not be counted for the total. Please be aware that once I send them out, you'll have 5 minutes, so you will have until 5:18 or wait, no. 5:18 to cast your ballot. So with permission of the district governor, I will be sending that out. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll be moving on to Golden Gate Lieutenant Governor. I will open up the floor for nominations. Dennis,
Dennis Lim, San Francisco State University. I nominate Kim Hanos for the position of Golden Gate Lieutenant Governor.
thank you, Dennis. We'll be inviting Kim into the breakout room, or the main room. Okay. Hello, Kim. Are you in the room?
Yes, hello.
Awesome. Okay. Do you accept your nomination for the position of Golden Gate Lieutenant Governor?
I do, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Any further nominations for the position of Golden Gate Lieutenant Governor? Okay, seeing none, we'll be moving on to Kim's 1-minute speech. Kim, the floor is, or sorry, I close the floor for nominations. And Kim, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, fellow guardians in sunny CNH. I am Kim Inojos, and I aim to lead Golden Gate through the use of GUARD, which stands for Grow, Unity, Accomplish, Revitalize, and Develop. My main points for Grow are to increase our presence in the district, as well as to bridge the gap between Golden Gate and the district. Next, Unity. I aim to have innovative DCMs, implement buddy club challenges, create divisional membership service and fundraising goals. And lastly, R&D. Revitalize and develop. I plan to reallocate resources to a website and Discord, strengthen Kiwanis relationships, provide training opportunities in the summer to work on establishing club goals, focus on membership retention due to the decline in membership, and work with all clubs to assess their needs and create a course of action to ensure they meet their goals. Thank you for the opportunity to serve Guardians.
Okay, thank you, Kim. So with that, are there any motions on the floor? Dennis?
Dennis Lim, San Francisco State University. I move to vote by unanimous acclamation.
Is there a second? Brandon?
I second that motion.
Those in favor, please raise your hand. This only applies for Golden Gate. Please lower your hands. Any objections? Seeing none, congratulations, Kim Inojos. You're officially our Golden Gate Lieutenant Governor. Yay! Okay. So we're moving on to Metro Lieutenant Governor. I open up the floor for nomination. Fernando from Pierce.
Fernando Gutierrez, Pierce College. I nominate Stephanie Petty-Jonto for the position of Metro LTG.
Stephanie?
Yes.
Stephanie?
Hello, yes.
Do you accept your nomination for the position of Metro Lieutenant Governor?
I, Stephanie Petty-Jonto, accept the nomination.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? Okay. Seeing none, I'll close the floor for nomination. And Stephanie, you may take the floor for your 1-minute speech.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Petty-Jonto, and I currently serve as Pierce College's Vice President of Service. Today, I am running to become Metro's next Lieutenant Governor for the 2021 to 2022 term. I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to me and providing me the inspiration of wanting to run in the first place. To briefly reiterate the Metro platform, I plan to first maintain division inclusivity through divisional bi-monthly service and socials, a mentor-mentee system, and increasing member recognition. Second, to educate effectively by having DLT act as a mentor figure to E and A board positions and providing the opportunity for clubs to host DCMs alongside DLT. Third, to take a proactive stance through a Google Calendar shared with club presidents to avoid conflicted dates and increase member attendance at DCMs. Fourth, to revise social media platforms using Instagram and Discord more. And fifth, to project our voice as a division. No matter what happens today, I appreciate the opportunity of being able to bring out my ideas towards the division. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Are there any motions on the floor? Okay. Seeing none, we'll be moving on to a ballot vote. Just give us a moment. Eddie will be giving his remarks soon.
Hello again. This time it is for Metro. So Metro, as you have heard before, I will be sending an email to your registered email that you sent out with the House of Delegates form. Just to let you know, it's going to be pin number 4, and it has to be a valid email address for it to be counted. If any of those are incorrect, it will not be counted. So please look that over. Pin number 4. Once I send those out, the timer will start. So it'll be around 5:25 or 5:26. And please be sure to send it within that time, because if it is not, your ballot will not count. With the permission of the district governor, I will be sending it out. Catherine?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I'll be sending that out right now. You should be checking it. So you have until 5.
Matthew Ujamoff?
Eddie got cut off. What is the time?
What was it?
Eddie got cut off. What is the time that the form is closing?
5:26. Okay, so we'll be moving on to Paradise. Are there any nominations on the floor? Pinky from San Diego State.
Pinky Ho, San Diego State. I nominate Justin Luck for the position of Paradise Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you, Pinky. Ryan, can you put Justin into the room? Justin, are you in the room? Justin, look.
Yes, I'm in the room.
Hello. Justin, do you accept your nomination for the position of Paradise Lieutenant Governor?
I accept the nomination.
Perfect. Thank you, Justin. Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, we'll be closing the floor for nomination. And Luke, you will have 1 minute to say your final remarks.
I'm Justin Luck, and I'll do my best to make like the monkey in my literature to take the coconuts of current qualifications to Paradise Island. By working with others, he would be able to make a raft to sail out to the beach balls of goals he can see: divisional spirit and unity, Kiwanis family relations, education, transparency, and an alumni network. Once he brings them back, he isn't done, because there's always more. These are just the ones that he's currently working towards to bring more fun to the island. This would balance out the work to make better rafts to sail further to new horizons. So if you give me the chance to let us go, come with me, we could sail out to uncharted seas with our hands, open eyes, and biggest brains. We could do it all.
Okay, thank you. With that, are there any motions on the table?
Floor.
Pinky,
Pinky Ho, San Diego State. I, Pinky Ho from San Diego State, move to vote Justin Luck for the position of Paradise Lieutenant Governor by unanimous acclamation.
thank you. Okay, those in favor, please raise your hand.
No, you need a second.
Oh, sorry. We need a second. Remy,
Remy Sprague, SDSU. I second.
perfect. Okay, those in favor of Justin as the next Paradise, or sorry, as for the acclamation, please raise your hand. Thank you. Please lower your hands. Perfect. Okay, those opposed, please raise your hand. Seeing none, Justin, congratulations. You are Paradise's Lieutenant Governor. Wow! Also, amazing job with your singing. Chef's kiss. Okay. We have some final announcements or election results. So for Foothill Division, can I get a drum roll, please? Doo-doo-doo-doo. Your Lieutenant Governor will be Ping Tram. Awesome. Okay. Last but not least, we'll be moving on to Sunset Division. So I open up the floor for any nominations. Brian.
In Cal State Monterey Bay, I nominate Joey Duong for the position of Sunset Lieutenant Governor.
Okay. Is Joey in the waiting room? Awesome. Okay. We'll let Joey into the waiting room. I'm at the main room. Joey, are you in the room? Joey Duong.
I'm here.
Hello, Joey.
Hello.
Do you accept the nomination for the position of Sunset Lieutenant Governor?
I accept.
Thank you. Any further nominations? Okay. With that, due to the allocation of time, as well as the fact that Joey did already caucus for other positions, we do not need to do another caucus session. Therefore, we'll be moving on to a vote, or yeah, we'll move on to our ballot vote. Yeah, after we declare the nomination for Sunset Lieutenant Governor is closed. So with that, before we move on to a ballot, is there any are there any motions on the table, on the floor? Matthew?
Matthew Holt, De Anza College. I move to vote in Joey Duong as the Sunset Lieutenant Governor by unanimous acclamation.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Oops.
Keila?
Kayla Lee, CSUMB. Kayla Lee, second the motion.
Awesome, thank you. With that, we'll be moving on to a vote. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, perfect. Thank you. You guys may lower your hands. Those in objection, please raise your hand. Seeing none, the motion passes. Congratulations, Joey. You are Sunset Lieutenant Governor. Quack, quack. Whatever they say.
Quack, quack.
Thank you, Johnny. Okay. Okay, there are updates for the Metro election. Unfortunately, we did not reach a valid election and we'll be moving forward with an appointment, with the appointment process. Okay.
I can start talking.
Okay. So we'll be.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so that is our session for elections. However, we'll be moving on to bylaws and we're going to speed this session as fast as possible. So first things first, Ryan. Sorry.
Whoops. Our crack system failed.
Okay, sorry, y'all. So ballot results just turned in for Desert Oasis, and we do have a valid election. Arrow Cruz, congratulations. You are our Desert Oasis Lieutenant Governor. Yay. Okay, officially now we'll be moving on to bylaws. So Ryan.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So every single year we do bylaws and we would like to get them changed, and also making sure that bylaws in itself is the most updated and most accurate to what our district needs and stuff like that. So in your delegate packet, you should have received the bylaws that we'd be voting on for this weekend. And I'll just be reading through them all together. So then just anybody wanted just it read out loud. So the proposal overview is the district bylaws is one of the district's important governing documents. This term, the district secretary has reviewed them closely to recommend adopting these amendments at the House of Delegates, so they are up to date. Just note that these are subject to approval by the Kiwanis Policy Committee and the Kiwanis Board before they are effective. I am proposing 4 different items for approval. The first one, the items for approvals are revisions to Article 9, vacancies in office between conventions, additions of district council, removal of Article 5, Section 8, and revisions of Article 7. Sorry, I had to read Roman numerals. So the first one is revisions in Article 9. Basically, the current way that the Article 9 is written is that they just show, I'll just read it. So for Section 1, in the event of a vacancy in the office of governor, a qualified member of a club in good standings with district and Circle K International shall be elected by the district board of officers to serve for the remainder of the unexpired term. Such action shall be communicated by the secretary in writing to the international administrator. In any year in which the district convention is not held, the district board of officers shall elect a qualified member of a club in good standings to serve for the upcoming administrative year. Section 2 states the same thing, but this would be in the office of secretary or treasurer, and Section 3 would be the same thing, but for the office of lieutenant governor. My revisions for this article is for Section 1 to break it up into 2 different vacancies, 2 separate parts, in which the first part, Section A, is going to be an event that the governor is, there's a vacancy throughout the term, while the second one is if there's a vacancy if there is no district convention. Section 2 is the same thing, but the only difference is that in Section A, we also have some contingency plans just in case that there's a vacancy in district secretary, since there is some contradictory language inside the bylaws. And it just kind of clarifies which secretary would be sending out the notice to the Kiwanis board. And finally, for Section 3, it's the same exact for the first in the current bylaws, since I didn't feel like there would be any difference in the vacancy in lieutenant governor in the process or procedure. And item 2, this one is a totally new concept within CNH district, but it isn't anything new within the international, Circle K International. So this would be the addition of Article 10, the district council, and it's broken up into multiple sections that would be focused on the composition, quorums and alternatives, meeting and notice of meetings, purpose, presiding officer, and voting. Something to note within this section is in Section 1, the District Council of California, Nevada, Hawaii District, the Circle K International, shall only be established if the annual district convention and House of Delegates are not held, and consisting of the officers of California, Nevada, Hawaii District. That's really important to note, mostly because This isn't something that would happen if we had an online district convention, since we are still using the title and the House of Delegates is still happening. This is mostly for any unfortunate year that they would be having a district convention canceled probably 2 or 3 weeks before the actual event. The district council will only be established if this ever happens, and this just allows for the current district board or that current district board to make any bylaw amendments and also to vote in their members and elected officers. Finally, for item 3, the current revision for section 8 is that no district officer may retain membership in any district committee. Currently in our district board, there are ex officio members, but we feel that lieutenant governors would have more voice, but also more understanding of what the chairs do if they were given the opportunity to be on the district committee. So my revision is just get rid of that section and also just to see what happens in the future, since chairs have the ultimate final say in terms of who's going to be on our committee or not. Finally, for item 4, the current section is just the standing committees of district board, and the only standing committees within the district currently in our bylaws are the Membership, Development, and Education Committee, the Kiwanis Family and Foundation Committee, District Convention, Fall Training Conference, Service, Finance and Fundraising Committee, and that is all. Standing committees basically means that this is permanent, and also these are chairs that would need to be appointed every single year with the name and also that committee, what it entails. My revision is adding 3 other committees on there, which would be Communication and Marketing Committee, the Laws and Regulation, and also Member Recognition Committee. Mostly because I've seen that these committees have been here more than 3 and 4 years. So we've seen their output within the district. We feel that these are committees that have already shown that they've done a lot for the district, and they're, I guess, vital for the continuation of our district. So those are all the bylaw amendments that would be that is presented to you at the moment. I'll give it back to Governor Cat.
Matthew Ujimov?
I would like to move to vote on items 1, 2, and 4 as a block.
1, 2, and 4 as a block. Okay. Doug?
Douglas Music, Cal State Fullerton, I second.
Okay.
Be clear with the delegates that what they're voting on is to consider them
Consider.
together.
Okay.
They're not voting on whether they pass or not.
Okay. So we'll be voting on the consideration of blocks of the block 1, 2, and 4. This does not mean that we approve of it. Okay. We're just putting them into one block. So with that, we'll be moving on to a vote. Those in favor of the consideration of putting 1, 2, and 4 into a block, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. I will now lower all hands.
So now entertain.
With that, are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes, and we will be considering that amendments 1, 2, and 4 as a block.
So invite the maker of the.
Matthew, do you want to speak for that block?
Oh wait, you haven't had anybody move.
Sorry, we need to actually make a motion first for the approval. So is there a motion? Okay, Matthew Ujimov.
Matthew Ujimov, El Camino College. I move to vote on block, the block with items 1, 2, and 4.
Awesome.
Is he moving to approve?
Yeah, to approve.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Camille. Is there a second? Hyunjin?
Hyunjin Kim, Moore Park College, I second.
Motion made by Matt, seconded by Hyunjin. With that, we'll be moving on to a vote. Those in favor, please.
No, now you need to debate.
Oh, okay, sorry. Now we have to do a debate. All right, are there any discussion?
Right. Pros and cons.
Pros and cons? Do they have to do it?
No, if
Okay.
you can.
Okay.
If nobody has anything to say, you can go ahead and vote.
Okay, with that being said, we'll be moving on to a vote. Those in favor, please raise your hand to approve blocks or the block with items 1, 2, and 4. And this requires a 2/3 vote. Okay. With that being said, please lower your hands. Can you do that? Okay, thank you. Okay, those opposed, please raise your hand. Okay. Seeing none, the motion passes. Woo! Okay. Yay, okay.
Now I entertain a motion regarding the other one.
Okay. I entertain a motion to address the
To adopt.
the number 3. Is there a motion? Ryan,
Ryan Tan, Cal State Fullerton, so moved.
is there a second? Nick,
Nicholas Wright, Cal Poly Slow, I second.
thank you. Motion made by Ryan, seconded by Nick. Okay, with that, we'll be moving on to discussion. The maker of the motion should speak to it. Let's go, Ryan. You got this.
Hello. So with item 3, the main revision is just that it would be getting rid of section 8, which is no district officer may retain membership in a district committee. Being on district board for the past 2 years, I've noticed that this has become kind of like a gatekeeping for lieutenant governors that may have interest in probably service committee or technology committee or member development education committee. A lot of lieutenant governors have talked to me that they would like to be a part of these committees, whether it be in a small part or also have a bigger role, but they felt like being on the district board has kind of limited their opportunities, not in terms of leadership, but just in terms of experience and also knowledge. However, we feel that, well, I felt like by having this removed, it doesn't necessarily mean that lieutenant governors are going to take up all the spaces within district committees. But we feel that at least that lieutenant governors are able to, or any district officer, other chairs, executives, et cetera, have now the opportunity to be on district committees if they do choose. And at the end of the day, as I said previously, the district chair does have the autonomy to either decline or accept their approval into the district committee. But yes.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Are there any oppositions? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to a vote. Right? Or yeah, we'll move on to a vote. Those in favor of item 3, please use the raise hand feature.
This requires 43 votes to pass.
This requires 43 to pass. Okay, thank you. You guys may lower your hands. Oh yeah, Eddie will lower them for you guys. Those in opposition, please raise your hand. Thank you. You guys may lower your hands.
Ask for abstentions.
Any abstentions? Okay, with that, the motion passes. We're good to go?
Yeah.
Perfect. Any final remarks, Ryan?
Don't you need didn't you say you had a resolution?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you all.
Okay, so we'll be moving on to the House of Delegates resolution for March 20th, 2021. Whereas the special guest to our convention has taken time out of their busy schedules to come and support our district at its district convention, and whereas they have been an integral part in making this a successful convention, now therefore be it resolved that this House of Delegates recognize our special guests for their support and willingness to help. Whereas Kiwanis Governor Gary Gray has been a support to our district, and whereas we appreciate his care, be it resolved that this House of Delegates recognizes his support to the Circle K organization and all of the Kiwanis family. Whereas Kiwanis District Secretary and Executive Director Mark McDonald, the Director Office staff, and Kiwanis District Board have been a tremendous support to our district. And whereas we sincerely appreciate their hard work and efforts, be it resolved that this House of Delegates recognizes them for their support and dedication to the Circle K organization. Whereas the Director of Service Leadership Partners, Bruce Hennings and Tim Cunnings, has been a constant source of support day and night for this district, and whereas many of the district sponsor activities depend on his work, now therefore be resolved that this House of Delegates extends its appreciation for his commitment and dedication. Whereas the Kiwanis District Committee for Circle K has been a tremendous support to our district, and whereas the members have done a superb job mentoring our district board officers and all of its Circle K members. And now therefore it be resolved that this House of Delegates recognizes the members of the Kiwanis District Committee of Circle K, including District Administrator Camille Goulet for their hard work, and Armando Velasquez for their hard work, dedication, and support. Whereas the Kiwanis Foundation President Craig Wallace and the Kiwanis Cal-Nev-Ha Foundation have been a tremendous support to our district, whereas we sincerely appreciate their leadership and scholarship role in our district. Now therefore it be resolved that this House of Delegates recognizes them for their unwavering support towards Circle K, the Circle K organization. Whereas District Convention Chair Kyle San Jose, Convention Advisor Camille Goulet and Ron Liu, and the District Convention Committee members have done an amazing job with the 2021 District Convention, and whereas they have put countless hours behind the scenes to meet, plan this historic convention so that we can have an efficiently ran, organized, and enjoyable weekend, now therefore be resolved at this House of Delegates, that this House of Delegates recognizes and thanks the District Convention Committee members for their hard work and efforts. Whereas the district committees of Cal-Nev-Ha, Circle K have put countless hours behind the scenes in order to put clubs and their members with exceptional education resources and successful district events. Therefore, be resolved that this House of Delegates recognizes and thanks the district committees for their hard work and dedication. Whereas the members of district board officers have committed to making this year dedicated to the members of Cal-Nev-Ha Circle K, and whereas they have worked many hours with our clubs to bring the best of this district and excel in all aspects of service, leadership, and fellowship, now therefore be resolved that this House of Delegates recognizes the 2020 to 2021 Cal-Nev-Ha District Board of Officers for its work. And that concludes all the resolutions.
Now I need a motion to adopt.
And now I entertain a motion to adopt these resolutions. Brandon Demaposak.
Brandon Apostle EC Davis, I move to adopt the resolution.
Thank you. Brian Tan.
Brian Tan, Cal State Fullerton, I second.
Thank you. Are there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll be moving on to a vote. Those in favor of these resolutions, please raise your hand. We will need a majority vote for this. Okay, we will lower your hands. Those in objection, please raise your hand. Okay. Seeing none, the motion passes and the resolutions have been approved.
In light of the fact that we're at the end of our agenda, you can declare the House adjourned.
And we'll be moving on to our last item of the day with closing thoughts by Brian Tan.
Although this year was anything but ordinary, the leadership shown within this past term was extraordinary. The level of commitment and dedication these candidates, district board, the district, and our clubs demonstrated was out of this world. For the past couple of days, we learned these individuals' platforms and ideas and how even a year strictly online will not diminish our passion to serve our communities. In this session alone, we successfully hosted the House of Delegates, a feat that was deemed impossible until this year. In this session alone, we elected our 2021 to 2022 district board. And in this session alone, we were able to make amendments to the bylaws, which will provide guidance and support for future years. Whether you were elected into a position or not, this does not define your leadership, but rather shows your determination, dedication, and confidence. All of these candidates put themselves out there, and that in itself is commendable. May we congratulate all the candidates who demonstrated their leadership to the district this past weekend, and once again, thank you for making the 67th Annual House of Delegates one that we will not forget anytime soon.
With that, I adjourn our House of Delegates. Ooh, we did it, y'all!
We lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, we lived to tell the tale.
Oh my gosh.
What a groundbreaking
No, it's not 8 p.m.
experience. With that, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for showing up.
This is my